I did not expect this at all. It was also not the plan, but yeah, we were with a small group in the downhill, and at that point I was alone, and the speed was out, and I saw a good moment, so I went. And I did not expect to arrive solo, but it's yeah, it feels really nice.
Welcome to stage 5 of La Vuelta Femenina. Anna van der Breggen gave SD Works their second consecutive stage win yesterday, but the whole GC picture will be shaken up today in the first proper mountain stage of this year's edition. FDJ Suez are sure to be taking the fight to SD Works with their three-pronged attack of Demi Follering, Juliette Labus and Avita Music, while other teams will simply be trying to hold on and keeping their eyes open for opportunities. Fireworks guaranteed. There are just over 120 kilometres to cover today, but it's all about the last 35. After the intermediate sprint, the riders will tackle the same climb twice, just going a bit further the second time around. The Alto de Rosavientos is a gruelling appetizer, 4K at 8.1%, while the full climb of the fearsome Lagunas de Nela is 6.8K at 8.7%. They will certainly give us a clearer picture of who can win this Vuelta. 4 ladies got into the day's breakaway and they led by 2.5 minutes with just over 45 kilometres to go. Among the non-starters was Visma Lease Bike's GC leader, Pauline Ferron-Prévot, who had already lost a bit of time yesterday. The Frenchwoman still struggling with an ankle infection, and we wish her a speedy recovery. So the 4 riders at the front: Maaike van der Down, a teammate of Kasia Niewiadoma at Canyon SRAM, Julia Borgstrom from the AG Insurance Sudal squad, who's previously worn the white jersey at the Tour de France, Ariana Fidanza of Laboral Kutscher Fundación Euskadi, whose younger sister Martina rides for Visma Lease Bike, and Leah Lynn Teutenberg of Lotto Ladies, who was already on the attack a few days ago. Well, the day's early rain had calmed down by this point, but the roads were still a bit slippery. Well, Esme Gilkens was forced to abandon the race. We hope that she's okay. Her Lotto Ladies teammate, Audrey Keersmacher, also didn't start this morning, so not the best day for the Belgian outfit. As they approached the intermediate sprint, the 4 breakaway riders only led by around a minute, and between them they would take all the bonus seconds. Borgstrom deciding to kick on just after they rolled through, and she was followed by Fidanza. Meanwhile, Marianne Vos helped herself to 10 more points in her bid to take home that green jersey. Borgstrom and Fidanza leading the way towards the first climb as Van der Down and Teutenberg were swept up by the peloton. Well, the road began to rise long before they hit the official start of the climb, with the peloton closing fast. There was one last effort from Fidanza, but they were all back together again as they hit the Alto de Rosavientos. FDJ Suez with their armada on the front of the bunch: Amy Wollaston, Music, Labus and Follering.
Atención, caída de la líder.
Oh, and riders down, look at that. You could hear the scream. Femke Gerritsen, who we hope can get back on her bike. This is no way for her reign in the red jersey to end.
A real shame to see Femke Gerritsen losing her red jersey in these circumstances. Fortunately, she didn't seem to be too badly injured, just a bit shaken up. Well, back at the front, the French duo of Labus and Music were continuing to share turns for FDJ Suez. This group of favourites still contained Kerbayol, Mulman Passio, Fisher Black, Rihanna Marcus, Niewiadoma, Van der Breggen, Castellijn, Bunel, Reuser, Cavalar and the Spanish champion Ostalaza. But Mavi Garcia was one of the first big names to drop. About 15 riders remaining as they got to the summit, Follering casually zipping up her jacket with everybody else looking on the limits. Fisher Black taking the 10 points and leading them into the descent. Well, no surprise to see Kerbayol trying to go on the attack on the downhill, finding an ally in Niewiadoma, although the Frenchwoman almost overdid it at one point.
Oh, that was a dodgy moment to say the least. Kept it upright, no panic, just ran off-road.
There was then a bit of a lull as they got to the bottom of the descent, which allowed several dropped riders to catch up again, including Avita Music. Movistar's Mireille Meiering then decided to go on the attack solo, pulling around 30 seconds clear of the rest. SD Works also playing some tactical games, with Van der Breggen sending Bredevold up the road. But this stage was ultimately going to come down to climbing legs. Meiering still 50 seconds clear as Music led the GC group onto Lagunas de Nela, now about 20 women in here. They swept up Breakaway with around 4.5k to go, and she was soon dropped. Music still setting a strong tempo before handing over to her teammate Juliette Labousse. A sudden injection of pace from the French champion, Van der Breggen straight on the wheel, and this one really thinned out the group. Paulina Royakkers then made her move just as Meiring was caught, but she didn't go far either. 6 riders now left at the front. Van der Breggen, following Reusser, Fischer-Black, Kerboyol and Royakkers, and it was finally time for the defending champion to make her move.
Here she goes, Vollering launches. Van der Breggen, not an instant reaction from her, but it absolutely was from Marlene Reusser.
Well, following soon shaking off the impressive Reusser and going solo. The Swiss powerhouse demonstrating her climbing abilities, with Van der Breggen chasing in 3rd place. But the day, the victory and the red jersey would all belong to the number 1, Demi Vollering.
That no one was ever going to be able to get back on terms, and as she approaches the line once more at Lagunas de Nela, this time in the Vuelta Femenina 2025. Stage 5 to be claimed by the champion, and she's heading into red. It's Demi Vollering that takes the victory.
If yesterday was Van der Breggen announcing her comeback, then today was Vollering showing everyone who's boss on the first summit finish of this Vuelta Femenina. The 28-year-old simply had too much strength for her rivals, and she's now in a great position to defend her title, her 4th win of 2025 and the 48th of her career.
Mentally, I know I'm very, very strong. Because of my mentality, I can win beautiful races. But some people, their mentality, their brain is a bit too strong in the wrong direction, and they struggle and suffer so much with their mental health. And it's still such an unknown problem in this world. So today my win was a sacrifice for all the people who have really are mentally.
Vollering coming in 24 seconds clear of Reusser and 56 ahead of Van der Breggen. Royakkers was 4th ahead of the Spanish champion Ostalaza, followed by the French trio Kerboyol, Bunel and Labousse. Well, Vollering now leads the race by 45 seconds from Van der Breggen, with Reusser just a second further back. Kerboyol and Marcus are 4th and 5th, with just under 3 minutes separating the top 10. Vos remains on course to win the points classification. She's increased her lead over Heritzer to 48 points. Having taken 18 QOM points today, Vollering also leads the mountains classification ahead of her teammate Music. Reusser is up to 3rd. The GC riders will theoretically take a back seat on Friday's 6th stage as we prepare for another sprint in Baltanas, although anything's possible at this Vuelta. Either way, join us again tomorrow, and thanks for watching.